The first thing I want to ask is I like to just kind of define our terms. Like if you had to explain to somebody what people pleasing and perfectionism is, like how would you define that? And then where is it shown up for you the most in your life, would you say?
Well, people pleasing, I would say, is kind of like doing things that others want you to do, not necessarily what you want to do.
Mhm.
And you're just doing it because you feel like they want you to do it, type of thing. Perfectionism is obviously just trying to do everything perfectly. Um, which is like impossible because we're not perfect, but and also like putting very um like having very high standards or expectations for yourself. That might be like impossible to reach. Then what was the third thing?
Yeah. Yeah, like how has it shown up for you the most in your life? Like would you say like in
Um,
relationships and work or like just I guess generally the categories you see it in the most?
I mean, just relationships with people in general, it doesn't really necessarily matter whether it's like a relationship or a friendship or work. Um, it could be like any of those categories. Um, I feel like mostly it'd be like if someone like asked me to do something such as like a favor, they want me to do something and without like thinking about it, I'll just automatically say yes. Like that's what I've done in the past. But
Hmm.
now I try to like take the pause to like think about it like do I really want to agree to this or not? But sometimes I even still just do that like just automatically. I'm just like, yeah, sure. And it's like I don't even take the time to think about it, you know? So
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely resonate with that, just being like an automatic reaction. Would you say that this is like a long-standing issue for you or like something that you've just noticed recently? Like,
Um, I feel like it was probably something that I wasn't really conscious of before. And I feel like as I've grown and developed, like just as a person going through therapy and just like growing into a more like confident person and like um being more okay with like setting boundaries and that type of thing. I've gotten more like either aware of it or better at like either saying no or like doing what feels right for me versus just like trying to please everyone else.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. How, I'm just curious, like timeline wise, like how long would you say this has been like a conscious thing in your life where you're like actually looking at it and trying to do things differently?
I'd say maybe 5 years tops or less than that. Like it's yeah.
That's great. That's so great.
I'd say like I wouldn't say I was aware of it maybe in my early 20s. I'd say like because I'm 30, so like I'd say my later 20s I started becoming more like setting boundaries and like not people pleasing as much type of thing.
So I'm so curious to ask you more about like if there was something specific that happened that made you start looking at it more clearly, or like were there certain things that you were feeling or experiencing in life that made you kind of turn inward to see what was going on, or was it like a slow wake up?
I'd say learning about my relationship with my parents and like therapy in that sense. And realizing that a lot of what I was doing was like what my parents wanted me to do versus like what I wanted to do.
Mm.
And also slash like being in a relationship where it's like I feel like I would notice I'd be in relationships and I'd start getting like really frustrated and like I don't know why and it's because I was just kind of like abandoning any needs or wants that I had and it's like actually there was a point where I was like I think my therapist she's like what are your needs or wants or something in a relationship and I was like I didn't even realize that I had wants or needs like I came to a realization I was like I have wants and needs like what is that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was like the big shifting point where it's like realizing what my wants and needs are and then like setting those in relationships. Like these are my wants and needs and I'm not just gonna like just do whatever someone else wants type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can relate to that so much. It's like you're so angry, and then someone's like, "Well, what do you want?" And you're like, "I have no idea what I want," but that makes
Yeah.
me even more angry. Like, you should just
Yeah.
know, right? I feel like I've
Yeah.
had that a lot of before it was like more conscious of me. I had this story like that my ideal partner or whoever should just know. They should just know what I want and know what I need, but that's I don't know. It's silly now that I think about it because how could they know if I don't even know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely had those points where like people are just like, I guess feeling wise, they're like, why are you what are you feeling and why are you feeling this? I was like, I don't know. I just know that I'm angry, but I don't know why or frustrated or whatever type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's crazy to just like come to that awareness of that, you know.
I'm curious what got you started going to therapy. Like, was there something yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly like anxiety. I dealt with a lot of anxiety because I felt like I had like general anxiety, but I also had like social anxiety. But I think it was more about the general anxiety that I just felt like I constantly had anxiety all the time. And so like I would go to therapy to try and, figure out where this is coming from and what's going on type of thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That makes sense. And then the whole box was opened and yeah, all the things to look
Yeah,
at.
it was just like, yeah, a progression of like figuring everything out, like because the therapist, like the relationship with my parents are like my childhood. Like I just as a kid you just think that's how life is and everything's normal and this is how relationships are and how they go or whatever. And then like as an adult I learned about like codependency and like just like the relationship between my parents, like between them and then between me. And I was like, wait, this isn't normal, like, or like not a healthy way to have relationships and like communicate and stuff. Like, it's not how it should be. That's where it's like, oh, okay, things are like making sense. Like, because I was like, I'm so anxious all the time and I don't know why. And then it's like, oh, this is probably why you're so anxious and stuff, you know?
I'm curious. I was talking to a friend this morning actually about this exact thing, how in my experience, my family, we didn't have a lot of like other family around. So it was really just like my mom and my dad and my brothers. We didn't have like aunts and uncles and cousins and all of that that I grew up around. So like I saw some other examples of family dynamics, but not really closely. And I feel like that played a huge part in my own story because, like, if all I ever know is the way my parents behave and like how they interact with me, I just think like that's normal. So I'm curious
Yeah.
for you, like, did you have like other adults that you were close to in your life that you could go to, or was it more just like your nuclear family, or what was your experience like?
I feel like I didn't have anyone to like kind of look up to or like give me guidance in a sense. Like I didn't have like a mentor or someone that like I could look up to be like, this is how I want to be or this is how I want relationships to be or like I don't know. They didn't really give me guidance. Like my relationship with my parents was them just telling me what to do and me not liking what they're telling me to do.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean you're kind of powerless to what their roles because you're a kid. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's interesting. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing with me about all of that. And I'm curious, like going back to the people pleasing in general, I'm not sure if there's any like specific um circumstance. It might help you to have like a specific example in mind. But what did you feel like was like the fear underneath um when it comes to people pleasing? Like what were you afraid of in speaking your own truth or like saying no or
I think either like the other person not liking me, either being upset with me, really angry with me, not liking me, um, and like I guess like pulling away type of
yeah.
thing. So I feel like especially like my relationship with my dad, it was like if you said or did something that he didn't like, it was like that's just not okay. Like I'm angry at you, like, and I'm just gonna go away and not talk to you type of thing.
That's
So
a
I think
lot.
that was yeah, and then I think with my mom, like certain things, if like said it was like that's not okay to like say that or something, or do that. So it was always like, don't do the wrong thing or say the wrong thing type thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's such a trap to be put into because like I don't know, the right and wrong thing, like sure there's morals and whatnot, but like in a lot of instances it's so subjective. You know, like the right way to load the dishwasher, like the wrong way to do the dishes, or that's like
Yeah.
very
Totally.
subjective. So you're always guessing. Is there anything in life that you feel like you gave up or like put on hold because of people pleasing or perfectionism?
I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily. I feel like I had relationships or friendships that probably went on further than I would have like I feel like if I was more set in my like boundaries or yeah, in my boundaries, like I wouldn't have let the relationships or friendship played out as long as they did, but I was like afraid to like say no or just say this isn't aligning with me type of thing that I kind of just like dragged off.
Do you think it affected any of like your personal goals in life? Like you would have pursued any of your passions differently or anything like that if people pleasing just wasn't in the picture?
Well, like for example, I guess like my parents were very like you have to go to college and you have to, get a job, like follow this plan, whatever. Which I did because that's what I had to do. Like that's what they wanted me to do. You have to do this, basically. So I feel like that's like I did that, like which was like okay, it's not like I didn't end up really using my degree and because I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Like going into college, I was like, I have no idea what I want to do. I just like picked a major and was like, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing. But I feel like if they gave me more like free will in letting me just like do whatever I felt like I needed or wanted to do, or if I had guidance in like other areas, maybe like starting a business or something like that. I don't feel like I had any other options or like any other guidance to any other place. Um, Maybe I would have done that differently, but that's just the choices that I made at the time and
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I feel I'm like hearing a lot of like I can entertain the story, but at the same time, like you have it sounds like you have some peace with the way things have unfolded. It's not like you have all these regrets. It's just
no.
like things worked out the way they did, and this is where I am now. It's all part of your story. Is
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah, that's
I'm curious now too, like with the business that you're doing online and like your other endeavors currently in life, like if you could snap your fingers and caring what anyone thought or like needing things to be perfect was just not a factor anymore, like what would you do differently or like how would you show up differently?
I think I would show up more like especially like making videos and stuff. Like I feel like that's like a big thing that I'm a real perfectionist on. Like I hate recording a video. I hate listening to the sound of my voice and then I post and then I overthink it and I'm like, oh my God. Like if I didn't care about any of that, like I'd probably be posting a lot more videos online. I definitely do that. But like I feel like Threads has made me care a lot less of what I've been posting because in the beginning when I first started Threads or yeah, I'd say like throughout my journey of posting on Threads there's certain moments where it's like kind of triggering where it's like if I post something and then I get a bunch of like negative comments, it's like oh my gosh, like everyone hates me or whatever. And it's like over time, because it's been like a year, I've kind of gotten used to it. And it's like, if someone posts like a hate comment, it's like, I really don't care at this point. Like, it's whatever. So, like, Threads doesn't bother me. It's like making a video is like the next level to me type of thing.
Yeah. Hey, baby steps. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I'm curious about like the haters on Threads. Like, did it just like slowly over time kind of dissipate your response to it, or did you like actively do things to take care of yourself when you were like getting these hate comments and feeling some type of way about it?
Um, I think it just I think I just got used to it. Like I feel like at first it kind of bothered me. And then like I notice I get hate comments when I post certain things. Like if I'm posting like spiritual content, I rarely get any hate comments from spiritual content at all. But if I post something that's more like I say like 3D world type views or like I don't know, people just like assume things that I post are like about politics and stuff, which none of the stuff that I post about is about politics at all. Like it's usually like some sort of like spiritual, I don't know, undertone or like idea or whatever. It's like people will come in like about politics or like I don't know, just like worldly shit that it's like I don't like I don't really care. So it's like I kind of try to avoid posting that type of stuff just because I know when I post something that people might take as like political or about I don't know, like working in the 3D world or whatever. Um that's when I get more hate comments versus like if I post spiritual stuff, I don't really get hate comments. So,
Yeah. It sounds like you're in a good place with being misunderstood because like
yeah,
when people respond that way, it's like, okay, you totally missed the point of
yeah,
what I'm saying here. And it's like I can get mad about this and like try to explain myself to you, or I can just be like, all right, you're dumb. Moving
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I don't even respond because I feel like they're either just misunderstanding me or they're just projecting whatever they're feeling that has nothing to do with like people will just like make assumptions about me off of like a one sentence thing and it's like
Yeah.
you just like, decided this whole thing about me and it's like it was one sentence. But okay, bro.
Yeah, like it clearly has nothing to do with you if they're gonna have like a whole paragraph response to like one
Yeah.
sentence and a profile picture. Like
Yeah.
you have a whole they're living in a whole other land. Yeah,
Yeah. Like they're projecting something about someone else like onto me type of thing.
totally. So I'm curious, like, what makes you feel like the videos put you in a more vulnerable like spot to be judged? I'm
I
just
think it's
curious to explore that.
like this is like a big thing for me. Like it's really hard for me to like speak. Like as soon as I start to record, it's like I can't speak or something like that's like the thing. It's like and then I hate like listening to the sound of my voice. Like to replay it, I'm just like I can't listen to this or watch this, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I feel like that's really like very common. I hear a lot of this when I speak with other people who are like creators. They're like, "Oh, like I just jumble up when I like for some reason when the camera goes in front of me, like my words won't come out anymore and like I don't like looking at my face." Like I just want you to know that you're not alone, I guess, in feeling that way. Is that like ultimately an area where you want to expand though? Like do you ultimately see yourself doing more of that stuff? I saw you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do like YouTube. I'm not really consistent about it. Like, actually, I think I'm supposed to record another video tomorrow, so I should be posting another video. So I'm not super consistent, but that's ideally I would like to do. It's just like if I were to sit down and just record a video by myself, I feel like I don't know, it feels weird or unnatural to just like continue to talk. Like I can think a lot of thoughts in my brain, but when I like just go to like speak to a camera, it's like I don't know what to say or it's just like it's not natural. Versus like if I'm speaking to another person, it seems like a natural conversation. So that's why like me and this other girl we decided to kind of just like have conversation. I mean, she wanted to do like a podcast and I wanted to post on YouTube, so we're like let's just record our Zooms, like our conversations, and then I'm just gonna post it onto YouTube. So that is like I feel like the way that I'm gonna be more consistent, especially if we like hold each other accountable type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that because it's like what I hear is like when you're on your own, there's no exchange of energy. It's just you like outputting and there's no response to it. So yeah, it's like hard to keep drawing it out. But when you're having a conversation with someone, you kind of the going back and forth really helps keep it alive, keeps the energy moving. Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like it'll be like threads in a way where the more you do it, like you get comfortable just doing videos, like over time, the stuff that matters now, you'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I got this. But it's
Hope
hard
so.
to get started. It's like you're trying to like push a car up a hill and get it going fast enough to like start the engine. It's like a lot of effort at first to get it going, but yeah. once you get the momentum.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think
We'll
it'll be
see.
awesome. I'm like excited to watch your journey. Getting back to the people pleasing. Um, I I'm wanting to know about like what's helped you really move through it and stop people pleasing as much. And it sounds like you talked about like going to therapy and figuring out like what are your needs and wants and like expressing them and setting boundaries. Um, what's been, yeah, like what's been the most powerful thing would you say to help that's helped you move through it of all those things or something else you haven't mentioned yet?
Just like my happiness and like just being like, because I spoke about like being frustrated with other people. I think that just like that has really been the biggest like determining factor for me to be like, I'm going to stop people pleasing because I'm frustrated or not my best self, or I feel drained and not fulfilled if I'm not like setting boundaries and doing what I want and what I need. I don't know if it's been easy, but like that makes it easier when it's like, I know I'm going to be frustrated and drained if I don't do this, you know? So it's like, okay, it makes it easier when I'm like, okay, I'm going to say no to this because I know if I'm going to say yes and I'm going to do that, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be frustrated and drained.
Yeah, it sounds like you had enough of
Yeah.
the way things were going.
Yeah.
And then also like your level of awareness was such that it felt like if you kept doing that, you knew better, right? Because I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes we like get down on ourselves and we're like, oh, I should have known better. But sometimes like you really need to make that mistake like an extra time before you're like, okay, now I know.
My whole life, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like will keep sending me lessons over and over and over until I learn where it's like, okay, I learned how things are gonna unfold every time I do this until like I make the decision to not continue to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious too, like, has there been a change in like your self-esteem or like your self-confidence or your sense of self-worth, would you say, as far as like putting your needs at least as equal to like other people's? Like, do you feel like that has increased since you kind of started setting boundaries and things like that?
I can almost be like the opposite. Like I feel like the more secure and confident I become in myself, the like more that I can set boundaries and stop people pleasing versus like I don't know the other way around, I feel like.
So you're saying like you had to do the work on yourself to feel like secure, and then
Yeah.
that's like the solid foundation from which you could act on that
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
Was it like was that sort like a conscious journey that you embarked upon to like gain more self-confidence and like feel more secure and those types of things? Like have you worked on that, would you say?
I mean, so like I've done a lot of like shadow work, so like anytime there's like a trigger or an insecurity type of thing, I'll kind of dive into that and try to figure out where that's coming from and then shift my like my self-concept and my self-worth and things like that. And then also, I mean, I guess I could say like the more that I choose to decide what I want to do, I guess that kind of that like I'd say more like career work wise type of thing. The more I decide like what I want for my life, that has built more confidence in like, okay, this is what I want versus what everyone else wants for me. Um, and like, I mean, doing my whole like pole thing that I felt like grew a lot of my self-confidence. Um, and that might is kind of like a what's the word? Taboo thing for people. A lot of people have a lot of different opinions about it or whatever. Like it's like a risky thing. That's
Yeah.
the word. Um, but I feel like that has like done a lot for my confidence. So,
Yeah.
um,
What I'm curious what drew you to that?
I don't know. I just had the urge to try it. I was like, I kind of want to like try this out. And then I just decided to go to a class and I did it for like 3 years on and off. I don't know how long it's been now. I stopped doing it for a while. I didn't really have a space to do it.
I love
And
that.
I'd say just even like a year into it, a year or two into it, really like changed a lot of my confidence for me.
Yeah.
So
I can
mhm.
see like multiple layers with that because it's like the first part is just like see like recognizing that desire inside of you to like pursue this and then honoring it despite the fact that some people might think it's like controversial. So like
Yeah,
just doing it in and of itself is like
yeah,
showing yourself like okay, you matter. And then I'm
yeah,
sure too like just getting in your body in that way and like really embodying the energy and like the somatics of it, I'm sure is like very empowering as well.
yeah. Exactly. It's kind of like the I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like I like this, I enjoy this. And then also like the dancing, getting into your body, it kind of like clears your mind and just like learning all the new skills that builds a lot of confidence. Like when you get a new skill, it's like you're on the top of the world when you learn a new skill. So
Yeah, all the hard work that goes into like, yeah. And I'm sure too, like it really increased your strength, like your muscle strength and like your the strength in your body. And I feel like that's
yeah.
really empowering, like
Yeah.
just feeling strong.
Yeah. I mean, I went to like the gym a lot, so that's like I'm kind of used to I enjoy working out and stuff like that, but pole is definitely like a whole different like beast in itself. It's like it's actually very painful. So, you kind of have to like get used to the pain. And like I said, just like learning the skills, like once you get a skill, it's like, oh my gosh, like that was so difficult. And then you finally get in, you're like, this is the best
Yeah.
day ever.
That's so awesome. I feel like so much joy from you when you're talking about it. So what's something that's like still getting in the way of your people pleasing, I guess, like keeping you from not overcoming it. And the most obvious thing I'm thinking about is like the videos. So like what would
Um,
you say if you had to like, I don't know, make a scientific report about it? Like what is the thing, what's the story that's standing in your way from just starting to make all the videos tomorrow?
maybe like thinking they won't be good enough. That I feel like that would be what's holding me back. I'm like, I don't know if this video is like good enough to post it, type of thing. That's more, I guess, my perfectionism in a sense. I'm
Yeah.
like, it has to be like the best video ever, otherwise everyone's gonna hate it, and or I might hate it. I don't know. But
How will you know if it's good enough?
I think I would be like, oh yeah, this is good enough. I would
Yeah,
just
you
like,
just feel it.
yeah, yeah. But I'm trying to think of like other areas where I feel like I might be held back with people pleasing, like in my life, like 'cause I feel like I still have a little bit of people pleasing. I think it's funny. I notice, especially with like, it's interesting with men, at least recently, I've just noticed that men will like do or say or act like whatever in a certain way and not like really care about how other people might take it or react to it or whatever.
Yeah.
They just like do and they're like whatever. And it's like, at least in my head, like me personally, or like I could say for like other women, it's like I feel like we always think about how it's going to affect another person or like worry about how the other person might feel type of thing. And I almost like it almost like inspired me. Like it might be like negative with how it could be negative in certain ways when men do it, but like in other ways it was like kind of empowering in a sense where it's like they can just be like fully themselves and like no cares. I'm like that like inspires me to just fully be 100% myself, like what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, like all this stuff, and just stop like caring so much and like holding myself back from what I actually want to say or think or feel or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that. I resonate with that so much. Like you're totally onto something. And like I would even add, like they might say something ridiculous, but they don't even give it a second thought. Like you could talk to them afterwards and they'd be like, "What are you talking about?" Like man brain, right? Oh my gosh, I love that. That's been, I think you're onto so many good things here. Like because sometimes you need like this example that's just so completely opposite to be like, oh, that's what that energy feels like. Like, oh, that's what it looks like. And there was a time in my life where I was like, I don't want to wear makeup anymore. Like all these men go out into the world with their ugly ass faces and they don't plug their eyebrows. they don't shave their faces. Like they're just ugly as fuck and no one says anything to them, you know? I'm like, why can't like I have a nice face. Why can't I just go out there and, just have my face be in the world? Like so yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Like men can be inspiring in that way. I love that for
Yeah.
you.
Oh, thank you. I love that for you too.
But I think like a key part for me is the not overthinking it afterwards because sometimes like I'll go be very authentic and present with somebody and then afterwards I'm like, "Oh my God, I said this and oh my God, I said that." And like I need to still remember that like the man energy afterwards and just like, well,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
think something that has helped me with that is like if someone is really that upset about it and like say your intentions are like pure. They're not really to like intentionally hurt someone else. If they're like really upset with something that you did or said, either one, they can like say something to you, express it to you, or it's like something that they need to work through type of thing. That it's like that's not really your problem to solve. It's like their issue to work through.
Yes.
So that like helps me with that area.
Yeah, that's very sage. That's very sage advice. It's so true. Because yeah, I think it's common as people pleasers to like not give other people enough credit, but like to not give other people enough empowerment to say no or to say, hey, that bothered me, or because like in reality, they can. Yeah, if they didn't like what they said, if what we said, then they could just say
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like what you said was their like medicine that, you gave to them to work through.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And
So
it's not
I,
yours.
what?
It's not yours to carry either, I think a lot of like people pleasing is like we're worried like if we make them upset, we're gonna take on like what they're feeling type of thing.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. There's a huge part of personal responsibility. Like I'm responsible for my internal experience. You're responsible for your internal experience. Like I'm gonna try not to be an asshole, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't go inside your body and make you feel a certain way. And the
Yeah.
same thing goes the other way too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, we just have like a couple of minutes left, but one thing I wanted to ask you about that I'm super curious is like one thing I've come to in my journey is learning about the nervous system and like the different states of the nervous system and like how to regulate it and all that kind of thing. And I'm curious if that has been a part of your journey at all or not really.
Yeah. That is mostly, I feel like, especially in the more recent times, in relationships. That's like a big thing. Like if I get triggered in a relationship, that's like my nervous system just goes freaking crazy into like fight or flight mode. And it's like learning how to regulate that. I'm still learning how to regulate
Still
that.
learning. What are, if you don't mind me asking, what are some things that you are finding that are working for you?
um, I think trying not to repress emotion because I'll notice the feeling and then it's like instead of trying to like resist it or ignore it, it's kind of like leaning into it, like what am I feeling and just feel it basically. Or like just I notice I'll unconsciously be tensing my body a lot and it's like coming back into the body, relaxing the body, let like especially like in my stomach and stuff, I'll be like clenching up and I'll just like release and like, you know, take a deeper breath or like sigh if I need to or like make a noise or whatever type of thing to kind of just like let out everything that's like all tensed up inside.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really powerful. Sometimes I notice I'm like holding my breath and I'm like, oh, okay, I need to like breathe a little bit. But it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like you really do have to have that moment of pause and like you said, come back into the body and notice what's going on. Yeah, it's a practice.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's coming up for me like that I really want to ask you about. This has been so it's been so enlightening and it's been really lovely like getting to know you more. So I appreciate you being so open and like vulnerable with, your story.
Yeah, I'd love to if you ever want to like do another video again or something. What are you doing like social media wise? Like what's your goals?
Oh man, To be completely honest, I'm just like figuring it out as I go along. I got off social media for a really long time and I just came back this year. So I'm like starting from scratch with my followings and all of that. But right now I am on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. Um, and yeah, I don't know how to answer your question.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes you don't know. You just see where things go. You take it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
I think ultimately like I want to offer some kind of like like a mentor type program. I hate the word coaching, but I guess that's what it is, like some kind of coaching. But I don't know what that's going to look like. I just love holding space for people and I feel like conversations can be really transformative just when people feel like seen and heard and get something reflected back to them. So my whole background is in education. I trained to be a Spanish teacher, so I'm not doing anything related to my degree as well.
yeah.
But I've really been called to do more of this like personal growth work. It just feels like I'm being led in this direction, and I don't know. That's part of my non-people pleasing journey is just honoring some like a non-traditional lifestyle that makes no sense to anyone in my family.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
a lot of people are, being called towards that direction.
I love like I love spirituality, so I think that's like a huge lens that I want to have on the work that I do, but I also want it to be super grounded because I feel like a lot of spiritual stuff is like, oh, you're just not you and just disconnect from everything and we're
Yeah.
like souls letting I'm like okay fine but I still have to like live every day and like how do I show up here. So I like things to be really practical and
Yeah.
grounded but yeah we can talk about all kinds of spiritual things or people
Well, either way.
pleasing, yeah, any of that stuff.
It's funny because like I feel like I went through a whole like spiritual like I went from like not being spiritual at all to a spirit like through a spiritual awakening. The whole like Dark Night of Soul, like terrible, all the way up to like total like spiritual psychosis where I'm not even like don't even want to be part of the 3D world. So now I'm like completely back down into the 3D world and just like incorporating everything that I learned throughout that entire journey. So I feel like I made like a whole loop almost.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. That sounds like exactly how it should be.
So now I feel like I can, because I was going very like spiritual off the deep end to now I feel like it's like, okay, I have more like, I'm getting more like how to ground it into the 3D. So
Yeah.
I understand what you mean about the spiritual people being like completely out there.
Yeah, yeah, I was really like, there's something about all of that that was really attractive to me because it's like, I don't know, the mind loves it, right? It's like, oh, I can stay in my mind and just imagine that I'm not like part of all this. But the more that I did this work in like a practical way, the more it's like forcing me back into my body and like you were saying, the somatics of it, like noticing where you're clenching, like just being like the body is our portal from like the ground to spirit.
Yeah.
So we have to be here. So
Yeah.
like feeling safe in my body has been a really big part of my journey. And I would say ongoing part of my journey. So yeah. For you, I'm curious, like I saw your different things, but what's your ultimate vision of your business? Like where are you hoping to go with it?
Yeah, I feel like it's changed so many times. Because I was kind of like navigating like where I want to go, what I want to do with it. Because I was thinking about like helping other people, coaching other people, and then at like at certain times I was like, I just want to like sell a product and not have to work and just like whatever. Which I'm still kind of like at that point. I mean, I would like to obviously just continue to grow my social media, my threads, my Instagram, my YouTube, and kind of just see where it takes me, I guess.
Yeah. Sounds like we're on a similar path in that way of just kind of like, well, we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. It's a big stretch for me to just, are you into astrology at all or
I
no?
mean, a little bit like, yeah, I'm not like super deep into it. Like, I don't know a lot about it, but
You're like a novice astrologer.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
didn't study a lot type of thing.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries. I'm also like I wouldn't even classify myself as intermediate. Like I know a little bit, but it's so complex. But the only thing I was gonna say is that in astrology, there's like your north node and your south node, and they represent like karma and like your karmic lessons. So the south node is like what you've mastered in previous lifetimes, and it's like where you feel really comfortable. And the north node is what you're supposed to be like leaning into in this lifetime, and it's very out of your comfort zone. And my north node is in Pisces, which is like 100% trust. Like it's like trust in God, trust in the universe, like, and then the South Node is in Virgo, which is like wants to know every single bullet point and it wants like a plan. And so that is totally me. Like, I want to know everything. I want this business thing to be lined out. I want to know where I'm going before I start. And I just keep coming up against like, no, that's not how it's going to be. Like, you're going to jump into the pool and figure out how to swim. And so I'm really trying to embrace that. And it's nice, like speaking with you, knowing that you're also just embracing
Yeah.
wherever it leads. You're obviously being drawn to do this type of work. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
gotta
I
trust.
relate to that. Yep. It's like we want to know what's gonna happen, but yeah, my whole life I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Do you
I,
also have, go ahead, sorry.
I thought that like I would have a plan and have it all figured out, and I'm like, I never know. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's the are you a millennial still? Yeah, it's the millennial struggle.
Yeah.
I'm an old millennial, but yeah, it's the millennial struggle. Do you also have like a muggle job?
Yeah. Accounting,
Accounting.
basically. Which like I do really well and I just get so bored with it. Like I am really good at it, so I do all my work very quickly and then I run out of things and then I just like sit there and I'm like, what do I do? I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like that's I because I didn't really work honestly for like the past 2 years or so. I was like I worked like part-time like here and there or whatever a little bit. But like I wanted to mostly rely on just like an online income so that I have like the freedom to do whatever I want whenever I want because that's what I was doing and I was like this is great. I just need to make more money so that I can sustain this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm still going to continue to try and, achieve. So,
Yeah. It's definitely doable.
but
We'll figure it out
yeah,
together.
we will hopefully. We'll get there.
Yeah. But you've done so amazing on Threads. I'm like super impressed by the following that you've gained and like you get so much interaction and you're just an inspiration to me and I just want you to know that I'm like a random person watching from afar like wow, that's someone to look up to. So,
Well, you inspired me with your videos because I feel like you just talk so easily and naturally in your Instagram posts that I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that.
you can just practice. I have some really bad ones when I first started, but no one watches them. That's the thing. Like as you keep posting, it's like your threads. The ones from
Yeah.
months ago are lost forever. Like no one will ever see those threads unless they're obsessed with you and like stalking your page. But
Like I'll get notifications. It's like this person followed you from this thread, and it's like a thread from like months ago, and I'm like, are they going on my page and then like going all the way down, or like is the algorithm pushing those ones out still? Like I'm confused. What's going on?
yeah. The magnet, whatever it is, the magnet is working. Okay, well, this has been so amazing. Let's see, do I have any like finishing things here? I know I kept you over time, so thank you. I'm gonna keep doing these research calls for like the next several months. So if you know anybody that might be open to talking to me, I'm just putting it out there. I'd love for you to send them my way. And I'll probably follow up with you in like a week and just be like, hey, and yeah, keep in touch if that works for you.
Yeah, I think we should do another video call at some point. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much for being open to like speaking with me. Do you have anything else on your heart to share before we sign off?
I just enjoyed this conversation. I feel like this is helping me with my throat chakra and speaking on camera and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes, the throat chakra. Yes, activated. I love it.
Appreciate that. Thank you for reaching out to me.
Yeah, thanks for responding. I was like, this is a long shot. She has like all these followers. She's famous. Is she even gonna respond to my message? So I felt like really honored.
Crazy. No. Thank you. No, that's crazy because I look at people obviously with like even larger followings. I'm like, damn, I'm not even like where I aspire to be. And the fact that people are thinking that about me is like crazy. I feel like I'm like nothing.
Oh,
You know,
well,
not a lot of
you're
followers.
You're so much more than nothing. Like own it, because I definitely see you that way. I'm like, there's always somebody that's underneath, right? I have like 200 followers on Instagram, so I'm sure there's somebody out there with like 20 that's looking at me thinking, wow, 200. But I'm over here looking at you like, dang, you have almost 8,000 followers on Threads. Like that's a shit ton of people.
Just noticed like this last week it already went down like 10, like 15 or so because I haven't been posting. I'm like, damn, this is why I'm like, I have to get back into this.
Yeah.
But
The fluctuations are normal. Plus, there's a lot of like weird, creepy, like porn accounts
yeah,
that, yeah. So
things go
whenever
on.
it goes on and up and down like that, I'm like, oh, it's probably just like a creepy, weird person anyway. So
I'm supposed to get to 10,000 by the end of this year, so we'll see.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
And happy early Threads anniversary.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Shelby.